Now, moving on to our next game, which high-powered offense is
Rams.
going to take the cake here? Rams or the Lions? You already heard it from him, so I'm going to go ahead and let him take this one. He thinks the Rams are going to win this one, so let me hear it. Why? Why are the Rams going to win this one?
This is why the Rams are going to win. Because I told you last week that they were contenders, and so I got to keep on with that. I can't turn them into pretend 2 weeks ago. Here's the thing. Sean McVay identified the faults in Jared Goff, and he threw him out of Los Angeles, threw the guy out, got rid of him. And he's come back and said, you know what, I handled that wrong. And Jared Goff's gone on to do good things over there in Detroit. But
Yeah.
this is Detroit has already had their celebration. They made the playoffs. They won the division. Now it's time to go back to battle. I don't think they have it in them. And Sean McVay knows exactly what positions to put Jared Goff in to where he cannot succeed. And that's where you're gonna find the Rams have a high powered offense. They have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. They have a Super Bowl winning head coach. They have Puka Nacua. They have a lot of weapons on that team. And eventually the Detroit Lions are going to have to look at Jared Goff and say, go win us this football game. And he won't be able to do it. Now, that's what history tells us. If he goes out and leads two back-to-back drives and knocks off the Rams, more power to him, because that means that we get to play the Eagles or the Buccaneers the next week. And I'm excited. But I firmly believe next week in the playoffs, there's going to be a Rams 49ers showdown. And to be honest with you, that makes me nervous as hell. So I think the Rams are going to win it. I think it's going to be great TV presentation. The script writers, he's going home to Detroit. Detroit loves him. They were happy for him to win a Super Bowl. And I just think, I think it might be 17-17 in the third quarter, but this might be a 31-17 win for the Rams. And when you look back on it, it might not be as close as records might indicate it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I find this game, I think, the most difficult to map out on who's going to win. Interesting enough, I had kind of a hard time with the Miami-Kansas City game as well on who was going to win. I ultimately came down to the Lions very narrowly, but I think Sean McVay and the coaching could definitely sway that the other way, especially when you're talking about coaching, right? We've seen Sean McVay, again, like you said, he's a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's not dumb. He's very good at his play calling. He keeps his offensive running. We've seen some really boneheaded coaching mistakes out of Dan Campbell, especially these last couple of weeks.
Laporta.
Yeah, first of all, keeping guys out there like Sam Laporta. Why? When the only way you were going to get the first seed was if the Cowboys were going to lose against the Commanders, which very slim chance. The 2 seed or whatever it was, and the Eagles were going to lose as well. Yeah, so if the Eagles and the Cowboys were going to lose, then you get the 2 seed. That's the only thing that you were gaining there.
My thing is you were going for the Rams, the 49ers, petty as hell. They're double teaming Puka Nacua on every play because they don't want him to get the record, and he finally gets into the third quarter. My man Puka was going for the all-time rookie records for catches and receiving yards. Now, one was set by Waddle in 2021, not that impressive. It'll be broken again. The other one was set by a Houston Oiler in the 1960s. That's a massive record. You got Laporta out there trying to get a rookie tight end record that means absolutely nothing. You know who I think didn't have like some great season this year for my team is George Kittle. I'm like, George Kittle had an okay season. I just saw that he led all tight ends in yards and had 1,000-yard receiving. It's like, tight end records don't mean anything. Why are you putting your young dude in harm's way for a record it doesn't mean anything?
Absolutely. And I don't think anybody even realized that he was close to it. Nobody was talking about it. Not only that, but yeah, I'm going to bring it up. Okay. The whole thing with the Cowboys versus the Lions thing, regardless of what happened, and obviously I'm biased. Duh. I'm a Cowboys fan. Of course I'm biased. Okay, I'm probably just the least biased Cowboys fan. Okay, the Cowboys weren't gifted a win there. Okay, regardless of what happened on the reporting, he was going to be covered if it was actually reported correctly. Because guess what? We put a man over 70 because that's who reported. Whatever. moving past that, and then moving past the whole tripping thing, and earlier in and the drive before that would have ended the game anyways. It was called on our tight end, Peyton Hendershot, when it was actually supposed to be called on Aiden Hutchinson for tripping. That wasn't called. It pushes back 15 yards. Moving past all of that, he still went for it multiple times for the 2-point conversion when you can go for the tie and then go for a win in overtime. Multiple times. That's what's lost in all of this. Over the tripping, over the non-reporting, over the refs, is the bad coaching job by Dan Campbell. That's what's lost in all of it. Nobody talks about it. It's very rarely even brought up or mentioned that. What are you doing still going for it? Of course, all the Lions fans, they don't bring it up. They want to just talk about, you guys got lucky. You guys got lucky. You were gifted a win. I get it. I would be frustrated too if I was put in that situation. Unfortunately, I don't. As much as you could say whatever you want about Mike McCarthy, he's not going for it on a 2-point conversion multiple times like that. He
or
just
ever.
knows, or ever. It's just not going to happen. It's just a bad coaching job. So for this game, I'm going with the Lions very, very, very slimly. But again, that could sway over depending on coaching. Right now, it's the Lions.
Hey, I support that behavior. I hope they win. I just don't think they will. Just like I hope the Packers are going to win. That would be amazing. I would love